into the cockpit here. I'm using, I think, just a mix of NATO green, flat white Tamiya. Really what I've got on the bench for this stuff. I don't get too hung up on this type of thing. You'll go nuts if you do that. And I've been down that rabbit hole. You can't win. So as I say, this is just what's on the bench. It looks brownish, leatherish to me, so I'll go with it. I will get more particular, especially as I get into larger scale. My 1/32 and so on, that's different, but yeah, doesn't make a huge difference at this point. Adding a bit of detail in the cockpit here, pretty much just for practice, bit of fun, and sometimes it's just what was laying in front of me. So some evergreen styrene just puts a little bit of detail in there that no one's ever going to see. I think sometimes, like in this case, there was even a bit of copper wire there, so why not? I glue that in a second. So yeah, there I'm using the super thin, basically to do what it's supposed to do, where you're using the capillary action. There's that bit of wire. You can go to town on this stuff, really. Very basic decal instrument panel, but again, 1/72, you got to wonder if it's worth putting too much effort in there. Cleaning up some of those seam lines. To be honest, the fit's not too bad, but obviously could be better. So there's the fuselage coming together. As I work through different grits, I do come back with the polish. If you don't, it can really affect your paint job. Whether you're priming or not, it'll start to show through. So I'd suggest use polish. Use toothpaste if you don't have it. Same stuff, really. Just more minty flavored. There's that nice wingy coming together, 3-piece in this case, going onto the fuselage. Still just can't take to the cut-off wings. I think they did that to try and get every extra bit of speed they could at the time out of it. Did weird experiments with split peas and all sorts of stuff glued on. So it's starting to look like a plane now. Here I'm using super glue just as a filler, really. It's fast drying, obviously, and it sands nicely. I use a couple layers, as you can see here, just build it up, because I don't know if it was a molding issue or whatever, but it's an easy way to clean it up. Here's the base coat going on. Nothing super spectacular. This was my genius move. I had this idea, which is never a good sign for a start, that, maybe I could use some masking fluid. But as you can see there, it was a bit of a disaster. This was one of those bits where I was like, should I even put that in or not? But I actually thought, yeah, why not? Because it'll save others going down my crazy path. In theory, it should work, but no, it's not even worth the hassle. So I come back and just freehand start cleaning it all up. Probably cost me an afternoon that one. But live and learn, as they say. The other lesson, I think, here, and one reason I did decide to keep it in, is really to show that you can turn it around. It doesn't have to go in the bin, a mistake. Plenty of masking on Spitfires. It's again standard stuff. No big surprises here. Always fun taking the masking off, if it goes well. No big dramas. Nice choice of colours they always had, I thought, on Spitfires, but hey, it's a Spitfire. I'm not quite sure some of those terms on the sky and so on that they get into the terminology for the paint colours, but there you go. I just use any bits of tape and stuff I got on the bench, so you can see it looks like a clown show there, but it does the job. I'm just coming in, as you can see there, touching up those aerolons. This is all lacquer paint, by the way, which is pretty much my favorite. I actually, since I've gone to lacquers, I don't really use anything else. I do use the Tamiya, but I'm almost doing that to offload them. I'm so mean, I'll use what's left in the airbrush just as a little base coat for some of the components there. There's the squadron band, I think it is. Of note there is I always use a thin piece of tape underneath because you'll get a much better seal. It's not really a big problem with the lacquers, but it does stop paint run. Here I'm doing the yellow leading edge. Even though I say I don't get hung up on the paint colors, this is one of those quirky ones where I'm pretty sure FS whatever I used, the federal standards yellow. Oh yeah, here it is. I'm pretty sure it's almost the same as RLM 04, but for some reason, just can't bring myself to put RLM colors on a Spitfire or an American plane for that matter. It's just one of those weird things. So into the decals, these are quick builds. There's not a lot to them, but they are really good for practice airbrushing, and you can get a nice little plane at the end. You can see where there was a defect in the canopy straight out of the box there. And then there's not a lot you can do really. Do check out my other videos because I go into detail in one of the others on my homemade decal tools, just using some masking fluid toothpicks. Decal's pretty straightforward stuff. I've added the rigging there. That's just some lycra. I've come back over with some black acrylic, I think it was Vallejo. Nice little backdrop. Gorgeous plane, Mark V's always nice. Still not a fan of that cut-off wing, but hey, something different. I did do some light weathering on it, nothing crazy. I was hoping to get to a bit more diorama with trees and things, but work, real life, all those things get in the way. So it's come up pretty nice. Definitely not one of my favorite kits. There's much better kits out there. Probably the Tamiya and so on if you're into Spitfires. That's what I would go with. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, help a bro out, all that type of stuff. But at the end, I was pretty happy given my wacky experiments and so on. It's come up all right. And I have fun, learn a few things, learn what not to do. I can see those ganky, the undercarriage is ganky. I don't like it at all, but is what it is. It's sitting too low, actually. You can see that there in that picture. But little details like the rigging and so on do, just finish it off. Would I do it again? Probably not, but it was in my stash sitting there, so there you go. Hope you enjoy that. Hope you have fun. And as always, like, comment, subscribe. Look forward to hearing from everyone. Most of the comments I get are along the lines of where I've screwed up, but that's cool. Sometimes I know I have, sometimes I haven't even noticed, especially, I think, as I mentioned in one of my own comments, still getting used to the whole video thing and getting into it. So stay safe, have fun, enjoy your modeling, and see you in the next one. Thanks again.